You ever notice how, in some neighborhoods, the worst kind of trouble always starts with someone smiling? You know what I mean. The kind of smile that's all teeth, no warmth, like a snake that's about to strike. That was Karen. Everyone in the cul-de-sac knew it, even if most folks just called her ma'am and tried to keep their heads down. But us? Well, we learned the hard way that in this neighborhood, some smiles could burn down your whole life. It was a Thursday night. Funny, the way you remember those details when everything changes. The air heavy with humidity, the smell of fresh-cut grass, and something else, almost metallic, sharp enough to make your nose twitch. I was up late, the window cracked open, when I heard the first crackle, like someone crushing cellophane. Then the world went orange. By the time I grabbed my daughter and wife, the flames were already licking up the porch. Screams, sirens, chaos. The usual, but it didn't feel usual at all when it's your house, your baby girl coughing in your arms, her favorite teddy bear melting before your eyes. All those years, mortgage payments, Christmas Eves, family barbecues, sticky fingerprints on the fridge, up in smoke in under an hour. I swear, I can still smell it when I close my eyes. The next morning was even worse. Ash everywhere. The sky gray, the sun struggling to get through. Neighbors circling like crows, pretending to pick through the mess, but mostly just gawking. Some whispered, others snickered behind their hands. I caught a glimpse of my daughter, 6 years old, holding what was left of her teddy, tears carving little rivers through the soot on her face. And right on cue, here came Karen. Slow walk, big sunglasses, lips curled up like she'd just tasted something sour. She stopped just close enough for us all to hear. Don't bother rebuilding. People like you never belong here. She didn't even try to hide it, like we were background noise in her perfect little world. My wife went stiff beside me, but I just clenched my fists so tight I thought I'd snap a bone. But I said nothing. That's the trick, right? They expect you to lose your cool. They want the story to fit their version of you. But here's what Karen never figured. Sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's just the calm before the storm. Let me back up a sec, 'cause the next part, it all happened faster than anyone expected. A week goes by, insurance dragging their feet, my daughter still waking up crying in the middle of the night, asking if the fire would come back. And the whole time, Karen's strutting around, holding court at the HOA meetings, acting like she'd just swept some trash off her driveway. At one of those meetings, I heard she was bragging, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Oh, I handled it. That house was an eyesore. Trust me, we're better off without it." Someone piped up, new couple, just moved in, hadn't learned to keep quiet yet. "But Karen, isn't that, like, illegal?" She laughed, the kind of laugh that makes your skin crawl. "Please, who's going to stop me? He can't even afford a lawyer." The others just nodded, sipped their Chardonnay, pretended not to notice the smell of smoke still hanging over the neighborhood. Thing is, Karen liked to think she had all the cards, money, connections, her own little fiefdom. But life's got a twisted sense of humor. That's something you learn when you've had to start over more than once. See, what Karen never saw coming was that my silence wasn't surrender. It was strategy. A few days later, when most people thought I'd just pack up and leave, I showed up at the courthouse. Crisp suit. Shoes shined so hard you could see your face in 'em, head held high. No crowd, no speeches. I just walked those steps, feeling every stare. Some curious, most suspicious, a couple just plain hateful. Didn't matter. I was there for my family, for my daughter's future. Inside, the courthouse buzzed with the usual mix of nerves and boredom. I signed my name at the window, handed over a folder thick with evidence. Videos, emails, statements from neighbors who'd finally found their courage once they saw what hate could do. The clerk just blinked, handed me a court date, and went back to her crossword. But as I turned to leave, I caught my reflection in the glass. Tired, yeah, but something else, too. Determined. Maybe even dangerous. Court day. Place was packed. Rumors fly fast in these parts, and everybody loves a show. Karen rolled in with her lawyer, both of them looking like they'd just walked out of a country club ad. She leaned over, whispered, "Easy win. HOA always wins." I didn't look her way. I had bigger things on my mind. But here's the kicker, the twist nobody in that room was ready for. The bailiff stands up, voice booming. "All rise for the Honorable Judge Carter." And the look on Karen's face when she saw me step up to the bench, priceless. Her eyes went wide, face draining to the color of skim milk. She stammered something to her lawyer, but the words just bounced off the walls. See, nobody, least of all Karen, knew I'd passed the bar, worked my way up, earned that black robe by grinding through nights when I should have been sleeping, weekends when my daughter wanted me home. I didn't flaunt it. Didn't need to. Justice doesn't care what car you drive or what club you belong to. I sat, let the silence hang for a beat. Mrs. Karen, I'll be presiding over this case. In my courtroom, justice has no color. You could cut the tension with a knife. Evidence rolled out, security cam footage, neighbors testifying, Karen's fingerprints on the gas can, even a phone call she'd made, ranting about teaching us a lesson. Her lawyer tried to spin, tried to bluff, but the truth kept piling up. Karen's cool started to crack. She begged, voice shaking. Please, Your Honor, it was a mistake. I didn't mean. I cut her off, steady as stone. Mercy? You showed none when you made my daughter homeless. You destroyed a family's future for your own pride. Today, the law speaks for those you tried to silence. I brought the gavel down hard, felt it echo all the way through the room. Karen broke right there, collapsed in a mess of tears and smudged mascara as the officers cuffed her, dragging her out past the people she'd ruled over for years. Some turned away, embarrassed. Others watched, faces blank, not sure whose side to pick now that the winds had shifted. And in the back row, my wife's hands flew to her mouth, tears streaming. This time relief, not fear. My daughter whispered, Daddy, are we really going home? I knelt, still in my robe, and hugged her tight. No one can ever take what's ours again. For the first time in months, I felt the weight start to lift. You'd think that'd be the end. The bad guy gone, family redeemed, neighbors shamed into silence. But real life's never that tidy. A week later, I'm at the grocery store. People look at me different now. Some nod, others cross the aisle. A few, ones who used to smile politely, won't meet my eyes. There's this new neighbor, a young woman named Haley, who stops me outside, groceries balanced on her hip. Hey, I just wanted to say, what you did, it was brave. Some of us were scared. We shouldn't have been. I'm sorry. She offers a handshake. Then, after a pause, a hug. I almost laugh at the awkwardness, but I shake her hand. Figured the neighborhood could use a little more humanity. But then you've got the other side, an anonymous letter in my mailbox, no return address. Some people don't forget. Watch your back. Classic, right? Progress and pushback, justice and old grudges tangled up together like roots beneath the sidewalk. And my daughter, she's sleeping better now, dreams still shaky but getting brighter. The teddy bear sits on her new bed, a badge of survival. My wife's planning a barbecue, says it's time to remind everyone we're not going anywhere. She wants to invite the whole block, even the ones who never said a word while we suffered. Sometimes, she says, people need to see you stand tall before they realize you're just like them. And Karen? Last I heard, she was appealing, spinning stories to anyone who'll listen about how the system's rigged, how she was set up. But not many buy it anymore. The old alliances are fraying. People are starting to talk about things they used to ignore, prejudice, power, who gets to belong and who gets burned. Maybe it'll last, maybe not. But for the first time, the story isn't being told by the loudest voice in the room. You know, there's this thing about fire. It destroys, yeah, but it also clears the way for new growth. You find out what's worth rebuilding. And sometimes, just sometimes, the right people get burned. So, tell me, what would you have done in my shoes? Was it justice, or just revenge with a prettier face? When hate tries to burn you down, is it enough just to survive? Or do you fight until the world sees you, hears you, believes you belong? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about it. Where's the line between standing up for yourself and becoming what you despise? Who decides what justice really means? Those with the power or those with the scars? I want to hear your story. Comment justice if you believe evil never truly wins. Or tell me where you think the line is, if you think it's all just shades of gray. Because in this neighborhood, the story's still being written. And this time, we're not handing over the pen.